Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. Giving back. We talk about giving back, but we don't always do what we say we're going to do. But we have someone in the studio today who is giving back in a very cool way, and she has her own foundation. She is Deetra Stevenson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.
And she is the CEO of Deers Inc., which is a foundation that you put together that has a lot to do with your history, your family, your core values. Tell us about the Deers Foundation.
The Deers Foundation, we've had the foundation as a family for about 3 years now. So for the first 2 years, we just kind of quietly gave to organizations that we saw throughout the community that were giving back, and we didn't make it a complicated process. We just saw people doing good things, and we wanted to be a part of it. So both in time and in talent and in finance, we decided to support those organizations, and we became a little bit more formal. Even though we are an official 501c3 organization, we decided to formalize the process a little bit more and really inspire other people to do the same thing. Particularly business owners. A lot of people think they have to get to a certain level as a person or as a corporation before they begin to give back and get involved in the community. So we really wanted to inspire other individuals and companies to give back. So this is our first year that we're actually doing fundraisers and doing different events to bring some notoriety to organizations that have been doing things for years quietly under the radar. And so we're excited about not just raising the money, but also raising the awareness for the different charities.
Wow. I think it's interesting what you're saying in terms of giving back, and I think people do wait until they think they've arrived or they have X amount of dollars, because as soon as you started talking, the first thing that popped in my head is, oh, she must be wealthy and she's giving away her wealth. Or she must have this big corporation, or I'm sure that's what people typically, because oftentimes it is people, the Bill Mazes and people like that. But it's really everybody's responsibility to do that. Why not take the kind of initiative that you have taken?
Right.
To do
well,
that?
First and foremost, I received that. So, so let's say that I'm wealthy, but I appreciate that. But what's really, I think, one of the things I love about my family is our history. My family is from Mississippi, and they literally grew up picking cotton. So we did not come from generations of wealth. No one in our family has been born, including myself and the generation behind me. We're not born with silver spoons. So we're just people that go to work every day. My parents have traditional jobs. My father's deceased now, but everyone just works regular jobs. But we just decided to pool our money and our resources together and again try to inspire other people to give back. And you don't have to be a multimillionaire to do that. You can give in time sometimes, you can give in talent sometimes, and some things it does take real money. So when you're in a position to have some disposable income or make some sacrifices to have some disposable income to help people that are less fortunate in all kinds of areas, whether it's education, health, benevolence, just the basic necessities of life, then I do believe we all owe that back, and we owe it. It's not a debt that we pay in the future. It's a debt we should pay daily. So
you mentioned your father, and your mom's here in the studio
Yes,
with us. So tell us about Mom, because obviously that has a lot to do with your thinking, who you are,
Yes.
and why you do what you do.
Yes, my mother is a tremendous inspiration to me, and our family selected 4 categories that we give to. One is education, one is health and wellness, benevolence, and then small business development. My mother, one of the reasons she inspires me is because she is 20 years consecutive running in the mini marathon, and my mother, I'm not sure if she didn't give me permission to tell her age, so I won't tell her age, but my grandmother is 95, so I'll let you all do the math and give you an idea of where our family lies and age-wise. But I'm really proud of her because she does a lot of things. She's a nurse by profession, and so she's already in that industry as a profession, but she does a lot of unique things like taking the stairs every day at work, hosting different events as far as encouraging people to lose weight and to eat healthy and to not smoke and things like that. So she's been doing these things for she's been a Methodist for almost 30 years. So she's been doing these things for a really long time. Again, quiet, under the radar. And so we just wanted to bring some of the things that the family members are doing out in the open, not to be seen, but to inspire other people to kind of grab a hold of those initiatives and just make the community, large or small, just make it a better place.
Okay. Now I know you have a one fundraiser coming up.
Yes, we do.
Very quickly. Tell us about that.
We have Casino Night, and it is our very first fundraiser that I am super excited about. And Casino Night is just that. We have crap tables, poker games, blackjack, all the normal all of the normal casino games that you can imagine. And it's just a good time. It's a good time of fellowship, and it's a great opportunity. We're really reaching out. Everyone is welcome, but we're really reaching out to a lot of small business owners because we also want it to be a great networking opportunity. We're reaching out to a lot of nonprofits, and we're saying, hey, come and fellowship together, because sometimes once you've played with someone for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, the relationship is just a little bit different. So we want those business owners and nonprofits in the same room, laughing, playing, having a good time, and then doing a little business and figuring out how we can help each other.
Yeah,
So.
I've heard some of the big wigs in the corporations say most of the business happens out on the golf course and not necessarily in the boardroom.
Exactly.
So,
So I don't know how to play golf, but I am a good crap player.
Okay.
So we'll make some deals over the crap table.
Okay, so can people go to your website to find out about the Deers Foundation, but also about the event?
Yes, absolutely. It's deersfoundation.com. They can visit there and see all of our events.
Give us an example of somebody you'd like to help in the future. Once you raise all the funds, are there particular groups you're targeting, or whether you want to be general about it or specific?
We do have certain areas that I mentioned that each one of us in the family targeted, and each one of us has our own passion area. I honestly am passionate about each and every one of them, but probably the two that I am most passionate about is benevolence. A lot of churches traditionally help in the area of benevolence because I just don't believe people should have to do without the basic necessities of life. And then the second one is, of course, small business development, things that we can do to encourage people to be entrepreneurs.
Well, you're inspiring me to give. I was thinking about the Center for Leadership Development, and they had a big fundraiser. They had their big awards dinner, and I thought, why don't I just set something up where $5, $20, $30 comes out of your account every month?
Exactly.
And if everybody did that, they'd have nothing to worry about.
They'd have nothing to worry about.
So, well, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate you giving back.
Thank you.
And
Thank
teaching
you so
us
much.
how to do the same.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Deetra Stevenson of the Deers Foundation, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly.
On Inside Indy. And when we come back, we're going to Carmel for the Arts Council next.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day,
one man's
right down in
dream
Georgia,
of racial equity and harmony, unity, seeing people as people, created in the image of God, is central to the Christian message. Acts records, "From one man he made every nation of men." God did this so men would seek him. Celebrate the creation, celebrate the vision, and celebrate each other as God celebrates you.
with this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And we're back here on Inside Indy, and in this segment, we're going to celebrate Black History Month. And the one thing I want to say about Black History Month, it isn't about Black people celebrating their history. we are celebrating American history that just happens to be a part of the Black culture, or Black history, in the sense dating back from our arrival to this country through slavery and those who have accomplished many great things over the years, and oftentimes overlooked, not included in the traditional educational classrooms. And so this is our opportunity to educate everybody about that history that often is left out. And here to help us do that are Mila Carruthers, okay, and we have Nakiah Nicholson.
Yes, hello.
Okay, and you're here to tell us about two very awesome events that are taking place as a part of Black History Month. And so we're going to start with the Black History Museum, which I know, Mila, you are spearheading that particular effort, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take it away.
So the museum is, like you just said, it's about the people that mostly everyone knows about in school, but some who are not acknowledged. Like they're not included, but they're not acknowledged either. Like the most people that we know about. So it's gonna be a tour. So there'll be tour guides. You're just taking a tour around to different exhibits, different stations, just learning about the different people. There'll be people acting as those people. So for example, Garrett Morgan, which he made the first stoplight.
Thank God for him. What would we do?
I know.
People run through intersections all the time, but this guy, thank you so much. And his name again is Garrett?
Garrett Morgan. Mm-hmm.
Morgan? Okay.
And then there'll be Ruby Bridges, Martin Luther King, Michelle and Barack Obama. Another example, her name is Mary Elizabeth Mahoney, and she was the first African-American nurse.
Oh, wow.
And I used her specifically because I had a meeting this past Tuesday, and the lady who was playing it, none of us knew who she was. All we know is just Florence Nightingale, but Mary Elizabeth Mahoney was the actual first African-American nurse. So, so we're going to have her, someone playing her, just different people, just people that we do know, people we don't know about, just kind of acknowledging the work of us African Americans and, just things like that.
So where does that take place?
That will be at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. The address is 3801 Forest Manor Avenue, so it's right there off the corner of 38th and Emerson.
Okay, so when you arrive, then is it set up like a museum, or how will we see all this? Because I'm thinking I go to church, I have pews, and so where's it situated?
No, it's going to be in the gym.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have a sign. It'll say, "Welcome to the Live Black History Museum." It's going to be in the gym. It's going to be different like tables, and there will be some people that have their own room. I also want to put this out there. I don't know if you know Reverend Jeter. He used to be the pastor. He's the one that built Shiloh. On 38th Street. So he did all the work with Shiloh. He did everything for Shiloh, built Shiloh up and everything. So he'll be played too. Him and his wife. So his wife still goes there as well. So
when you're walking around, you see all these historical figures. So can I talk to them?
Yeah.
Ask them questions?
Yeah, they'll be there. They're going to interact with the crowd. They're going to talk with you, give you information. They're pretty much playing as if they are that person. So it's not like I'm just handing them a script and just saying, you read this off, et cetera. They're actually I give them the opportunity to be creative and to be able to be that person. So once you walk in those doors, you are no longer who you were outside the doors. You are now that person that you are going to be playing for this museum.
So they'd have to get into character.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's fun, especially on their end, which I always thought was when people do the Easter play, and you get to be Jesus, it's like, do they have like the biggest head, I'm just playing him, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I like the way that
you.
sounds. So is there a cost to get in or anything?
Nope, it's free. Both events are free as well.
Okay, and so go over the date and time so people, they're watching this, they're going, okay, I want to check that out. So
it's February 24th. It will be at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's for any and everybody, all ages, whoever wants to come. We really just want people to just learn, more about what African Americans have done than what they already know right now. Right. Just expanding and broadening their knowledge about the African American culture.
Okay, very good, very good.
Thank
then
you.
The next day you have another event,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I want Nakiah to tell us about that.
Okay, Okay, so we have a celebration of liturgical dancing and Black History event that will also take place at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, but it will be held also in the gym as well.
Okay.
So basically about that event, it's going to be furthering more like when people say liturgical dance, some people get caught up about like, what is liturgical dance.
What is liturgical dance? Like,
So liturgical dance is kind of the proper formal professional name for praise dancing. So we'll have all forms and types like mime, flag, probably even step and things like that. And then traditional contemporary praise dancing, which you see like all the time in churches and things like that. But we'll also be telling the crowd and informing the crowd of the history of where it came from originally. So it will be like, the crowd will learn about ring shouts, how that's what it was first called, and then how it gradually came to in today's time what it is now. So we'll have a lot of performers, and it would just be a great time.
Okay. And how many dancers? So you're dancing as well?
Yes.
Mila? Okay.
All of us as a group.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're a liturgical group ourselves.
Our third person cannot be here, unfortunately.
Her
Her
name
name
is
is Sarah Smith. So she
Okay.
kind of makes up our whole name as MSN.
Oh, the MSN. Okay. Very cool. So, and again, is there a cost for that? You can just come in and
Free admission, parking. If you can get there on time, you can get there and get
it's
a
at
spot.
Shiloh as well.
Yes.
So it's 2-day celebration at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. So now, how did you all come together how did you put this together? Where did the concepts come from? And the MSN, you've always danced together?
So we actually started with this lady that we kind of grew up with. Her name is Naisha Patrick. She went to our church, and she actually kind of started a dance group there. And we were dancing with her for a while, and then we I think it was if, from my memory, it was an event that we were doing, but us three were together. We were talking about it, and I believe we just wanted to just do a dance for the event. I don't think anybody else was able to, so we just did one. And then our parents kind of came up with, hey, why don't you guys become a dance group? So we were trying to think of names and things, and so we all came up on MSN, which stands for Mila, Sarah, and Nakaya.
Well, tiling to our young age when we first started, we were like, yeah, that's like the best name ever. Like we were like kids when we first started.
Oh, really? So you've been dancing and doing projects together for that long?
For forever.
Wow.
So as of like when people like tell us now like what does MSN stand for, we kind of feel a little silly about saying it's Mila, Sarah, and Nakai, but since we grew up with the name, it just stuck to us like glue. So and how we just put our minds together for these events, and we were like, we want to do something not only for African American history but for our community as well, to tell them and inform them that not only can you go to church for just Bible study and things like that, but also, liturgical dancing, praise dancing is something that's very active, very fun. You meet a lot of new people, go to different events, things like that. So
yeah, and I do praise dancing when I exercise. So I exercise, you're right, why not get your praise on and get, burn a few calories while you're at it. Talk about multitasking. So, but I do that at home, and I'm, waving my hands in the air and all that. So I'm feeling you. So, okay, let's go over the details again. So in case somebody's just tuning in and they go, what are those ladies talking about? They're dancing. Where are you dancing for Black History Month? So let's go over the details. The Live Black History Museum.
It will be at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. The address is 3801 Forest Manor Avenue. It is February 24th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it is free.
Okay. And Nakai?
And then we're having our celebration of liturgical dancing concert. It will also be at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, 3801 Forest Manor Avenue, and the time frame will be from 3:30 to 5:30. And it's also free admission.
Okay, you can't beat that. And what a great way to celebrate Black History Month. Thank you so much, Mila Carruthers and Nakaya Nicholson.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us
on Inside Indy. And thank you for joining us on Inside Indy. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And we're back, and I'm wondering, have you ever been a victim of a scam? Maybe you probably don't want to admit it. You wouldn't admit it anyway, right? But we have someone here in the studio with us who can tell us about avoiding a scam so you're not a victim, and what we need to look for now and in the future, and some interesting statistics on people who have been scammed in the year 2016. He is Tim Maniscalco, and he is president of the Better Business Bureau serving Central Indiana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate being here.
Over 32,000 scam reports in 2016?
Yeah, what this was is this was actually BBB Scam Tracker. And what that was is, I think it was in the fall of 2015, BBB across the entire organization, so across the United States and Canada, introduced an internet-based tool called Scam Tracker.
Okay.
And the way that works is if you go on our website, bbb.org/Indy, you'll see a Scam Tracker button. Click on that and a map will come up. You can scroll down and you'll see all these little dots on there. Those are where people have reported scams. So you can click on that, or you can go below and you can actually read what scams have been reported. And these are scams that have either actually, people have lost money or attempted to be scammed. So it doesn't have to be a successful scam.
Okay.
So it's a great way for consumers to go on and see what's happening in their area. And it gets fairly granular. You know, you can scroll down and you can see Hamilton County or really, any town, any part of the state you want to see.
Okay.
So it's a great tool that way. And if you have been scammed, there's a little button on there that says report a scam. So you click on that and there's a little form you fill out. So what we're trying to get people to do is number one, go to Scam Tracker, see what's going on in your area so you are educated and you don't fall for these scams. Number two, if you've been scammed or attempted to be scammed, it doesn't have to be a successful scam, please report that to us because we want people to know what's going on so that we have a scam-free area if we ever can do anything like that. So
nice.
that's really what Scam Tracker is about. It's a way to educate the public and allow the public to educate each other about scams that are going on.
Okay, so who have you found in your research is most likely to be scammed?
Now this is really interesting. What BBB did is they took about 32,000 scams that were reported across the system in 2016 and did some research on that. And to answer your question, interestingly enough, it's millennials who are more vulnerable of being scammed. You wouldn't think that, and here's why that is. Most of the scams today come somehow via the internet, email, social media, something like that. Millennials are very accustomed to working and giving information on the internet. They trust the internet, therefore they're not nearly as skeptical of things that come across the internet. Scammers know that. So interestingly enough, the millennials are actually more susceptible to being scammed. We always think it's the elderly.
Yeah.
They do get scammed, but not as often as millennials. It's kind of interesting as you look at the age groups. Millennials are clearly the ones who get the most, and it goes down, down, down until the elderly. They actually have the least incidence of getting scammed.
Okay.
But now the opposite is true. If you look at the amount of money people lose, even though the elderly don't get scammed as much, they actually lose more each time they do get scammed. And one of the reasons for that is they get a lot of these home improvement. Someone comes knocking on your door, particularly let's say you've had a storm and you've got hail damage on your roof or your siding or something like that. Those tend to be high-ticket items, and people they don't lose money often, but those tend to be higher-ticket items. So those people tend to lose more money.
Okay, very quickly, we've got 30 seconds. Men versus women. Who's...
Oh, this is a good one. Well, they both fall for scams at about the same rate, but men actually lose about $100 more per scam than women.
All right, we win again. All right, Tim Maniscalco, president of the Better Business Bureau in Central Indiana. Thanks so much for enlightening us and keeping us from the scam artists.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you. I'm Kelly Vaughn. This has been Inside Indy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.